What's the deal? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing amazing. As always, I got another dope and amazing course that I'm going to run through with you real quick about online course creation. You know, I put it together. I hope you guys really enjoy it. As you already know, course creation is huge. It's extremely popular. I don't really think it's going anywhere, especially with the online education space. Everybody's trying to, further their education, further their career. This is a great way for you to put your knowledge together, package it, and really, serve the public so that, you can make some income. This could be your side hustle. This could be your main hit hustle, however you want to put it. But it's a really good way for you to kind of, get all that information that you've acquired over the years, put it in a systematic format, just like any other curriculum. If you went to school for all the years that you went to school for, and help the people out there. All right, I have it on my laptop. We're gonna jump on it, so let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you enjoy this new mini course that I put together for you guys on creating an online course. And the importance of creating an online course, especially for those who have expertise in any space that they're in, right? There's so many different experienced and specialists out there that, a lot of people are searching for that information. Gone are the days where you needed to go to a school in order for you to be able to be certified in something. A lot of people are going to the internet, right? They're getting a lot of their education off the internet. They're going to Udemy, they're going to Skillshare, they're going to LinkedIn. They're going to a lot of different platforms where, they can get the information that they're looking for, the specialized information, right? Without having to go through a whole 4 years of college, right? So if you're an expert in any space, you definitely should think about creating a course, right? So if you have any type of knowledge or any type of skills, creating a course is definitely for you. You can identify, some of the things that you're specialized in by really just diving deep into, some of the things you're passionate about and you want to start teaching. And this way, you'll be able to be serving a whole community at large with a lot of your experience and expertise. So you really want to start off with the first part always, right? Which is identifying your niche. I know you hear this a lot. This goes with everything, right? If you're doing drop shipping, if you're doing selling digital marketing products, you always want to identify your niche because it's cliche for a reason, right? If you don't know who you're selling to, then you don't want to be a generalist. Nobody's going to buy, right? So when it comes to course creation, it's even more prominent that you identify your niche because if you specialize in a certain skill, you don't want to try to say that you are knowledgeable in something else that you're not. Again, people are going to come to you for your knowledge and your skills. So if you identify exactly where you specialize in, it just makes it so much easier for audiences to find you. Also for you to create the content, right? Because again, this is where you specialize. This is your expertise. So align with your expertise, right? Select your niche. Everybody says go for the top 4, right? Love, health, wealth, and happiness, right? The evergreen. And then within those niches is kind of where you can kind of, figure out what you want to do. Maybe you're skilled at crocheting, maybe you're skilled at cooking, maybe you're skilled at cybersecurity, right? Maybe you're skilled at selling products, drop shipping. You can create a course around any one of these topics and be able to, service the public at large. Right, so you want to use some research tools if you're finding, you're going into a little bit of a brain fog around which, niche you should pick. Use a lot of tools. There's Google Trends. There's social media. There's ChatGPT. There's Claude AI. Right, there's Perplexity. There's a number of different tools. There's Gemini AI. Where there's a number of tools that you can use. Where you can kind of input some of your thought processes of what you're thinking about and let it spit back to you the data of where you should maybe start approaching when it comes to you in your course creation journey. Some profitable examples are digital marketing, personal finance, health and wellness. Just like I said, there's some proven to be highly profitable niches. But let me put a caveat on that. Don't just jump into a profitable niche, right? Just because it's profitable. If you have no expertise in it, it's going to show in your course, right? And then it's going to affect you in the long term. So find something that is that you're proficient in, just to make it so much easier for you. Don't worry about necessarily chasing a dollar, because you can always learn along the way, but at least start off with something that you are, proficient in now, right? So when you combine with what you're passionate about and what people are actively seeking for, that's where you succeed. That's where you set yourself up for success. It just makes it so much easier, right? So by doing so, you not only create a course that sells, but also one that truly makes a difference in your students' lives. And that's what's important, right? Especially if you're a person who wants to change lives, right? Maybe your passion in life, which is one of mine, right? Besides freedom, I love my freedom, but one of my passions is to help others, right? I really enjoy helping other people. So, I love doing this. I love doing things like this. So if you're the same and you share that like I do, you're going to want to help other people, right? So course content creation, right? So when you get into the process of, okay, I have identified my niche. Now I want to start, doing the content creation process. You want to structure your curriculum, right? You want to create a clear roadmap, which makes it easier for your students by you addressing their goals, their desires, and what their desired outcome is going to be, right? Hit their expectations. First off, okay, what you're gonna get out of this course is lay it out, right? This way, whoever is interested in your course, they at least know what to expect. You want to you want to diversify your content formats, right? There's so many different learners out there. When I was doing sales and, you talk to a lot of different prospects, a lot of them have a lot of different learning styles, right? And that's one of the questions we ask, what is your style of learning? Some prefer visual, they're visual learners, so they prefer videos, right? Some people prefer audio, so they prefer to listen to, on the go, because they're busy, so they want to learn and listen on the go. Some people love downloadable resources that they can read. Some people are visual, they want to read. So you want to be able to have that diverse amount of ways that they can learn, just to make it so much easier for your students, right? Again, the whole process is making it easier for them, because you want them to learn and digest what you have to offer, as well as enjoy what you have to offer. There are quizzes, there are certifications, there are a lot of different things that you can incorporate, a lot of different elements. You want to gather feedback, right? So you want to test your content with potential students. So, maybe you want to give out your course for free to the first 10 people, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe just give it to 10 different people, just so they can give some feedback on what your course is about. Another good thing that a lot of pioneers in the digital marketing space or online space, they ask the public, right? They ask the people, what are they looking for? What are they interested in? What do they want to learn, right? That's a really good way of you understanding what the people are asking for. Because there are a lot of times, including myself, I fall victim to it, is that, we think that we know what others are going to want to learn, because it's just something that we feel that, everybody wants to learn. But 9 times out of 10, that's not necessarily true. So we are going to be wasting our time spinning our wheel and not necessarily hitting or solving the problem, right? Courses are here to solve a problem. Somebody is searching for something to obviously solve a problem, advance their career, make more money, change their situation, be it as XYZ, right, etc. So by creating engaging and valuable course content, right, it's going to keep your learners motivated and ensuring that they're going to achieve their objective. When people go into courses, I've purchased courses myself, there's an objective that I want to get to at the end of the course, right? I want to learn this so that I can implement it, so that I can reach my objective. You want to be able to keep that in mind when you're creating these. All right. So building your course platform. Let me move my face out the way. Don't mind my hair, looks crazy. Anyway, yeah. This is live and direct, guys. Yeah, anyway. So there are a number of different course platforms, right, that you can choose from. It's really a matter of you just understanding which one is best suited for you, right? Your audience would be able to, access a lot of your information easier. You can be able to upload videos easier, things of that nature, downloadables and things, and any one of those matters, right? So, there's Teachable, there's Thinkific, there's Kajabi, there's Ferrento, there's so many different ones, right? So it's really important for you to take the time, do your little bit of research, right? To find out which one is best suited for you and your budget, right? There are a lot of these platforms that some of them you have to pay for, right? So if you're just getting started and you're really just bootstrapping this, you want to find one that you can maybe, start with, and then from there eventually level up, right? Make sure to ensure mobile access. Everybody, I'm going too far exaggerating. I would say at least 85% of people are on their mobile phones, right? They're learning on their mobile phones. They're walking with their mobile phones. So a lot of people are busy nowadays, right? So a lot of people don't have the time to really sit down at the laptop like maybe a couple 15, 20 years ago. So, you want to ensure that any one of these platforms that you choose, they have mobile access. Most of them do, but it's just something that, you want to make sure of. The integration of payment systems, right? Depending on your country, certain countries have different payment processing systems. So you want to research that as well. Make sure that, the payment processing system that you choose, is suitable for the course that you're creating. PayPal is a notable one. The PayPal, Stripe, Wise. There are a lot of different ones that a lot of people are using, right? So by setting up a reliable online platform, you create a professional environment. Again, if you want somebody to come and purchase your course, right, you want it to look professional. You want it to be professional because you are a professional, right? And it's going to encourage your learners to invest into your course, and everything else that you may have to offer down the road. Remember, you're building this for a long-term journey, right? So once you create one course, this can turn into a lifetime of course creations, students, people. You could build a community on school. A lot of people do a lot of different things when it comes to these online platforms, right? So marketing your course. I know a lot of people run into this. Okay, so I have my niche, right? I have my platform. I have my course. Who and how am I going to market to them, right? It's important to know and understand where your audience is at, right? A lot of people market on social media, their courses. It's a great place to start, right? You have platforms like Instagram, you got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got TikTok, you have Twitter X now. There's a lot of different places that you can definitely market your course on if you want, and if you decide on doing that. I mean, I would suggest it because it's the easiest way for you to really start, getting people to understand and enjoy, what you have to offer. And then from there, you can always level up to paid ads and, whatever other platforms. Right. And then you also are going to be building your list, your email list, right? Which is extremely important. That's another great thing to have when you're building these courses, right? Because now you're building an audience in a community of people who are interested in some of the things that you have now and potentially what you have in the future, right? This is how a lot of the pioneers that do internet online courses, are able to sustain their business for long term. They have these huge email lists, right? I mean, thousands and thousands of people that they're contacting daily because they have built it over time, right? So always remember, they started at zero. So this is where we're at. So we can start at zero, but over time, this is something that we want to build, right? Your strategic partnerships, definitely collaborating with other influencers, other online course creators, maybe combine something. If one person is doing photography, and another person is doing, editing, we can combine our resources, maybe create a photography editing course, and then we can share the proceeds, right? I mean, we just got to think outside of the box, but there's a lot of different ways that you can definitely monetize these. So by promoting your online course effectively, it's going to be key to attracting old students, new students, and generating sales. Right? So you want to leverage these marketing strategies to be able to help you. So again, we're creating a long-term business, which is very important, right? So launch and optimize. Get my big head out the way. Launch and optimize, right? So you want to have a pre-launch strategy. Build in anticipation with teaser content, right? Teaser content is something that you're going to be doing on social media. This is where it goes back to social media. That's why I suggested it. So teaser content, little snippets of, how to, maybe a little bit of the game that you created when you created these courses, right? Maybe a countdown to when your course is going to be launched, right? You want to get your audience excited. You want to get them stoked for when you're about to, put out this new banger that you got of your course, right? You want to gather feedback. Again, encourage learners, to share thoughts and on your content on the structure, on the overall experience, right? Because all of this you're going to digest and you're going to go back and keep enhancing the course, right? You know, we're not just going to create a course one time and just leave it. It's a done deal. No, we're going to keep adding to it, right? We're going to perfect it by having the people who have already taken the course give us some information. We take that feedback, we go back in, we make it better, we tweak it, we twist it, and now we're going to just make this something so perfect and beautiful that, you know, everybody's going to want to join. That's how you got to kind of look at it. That's your approach. You know, ongoing marketing never stops, right? Marketing is part of the game. So continue to engage through social media, email newsletters. Again, this is why you're going to build your list, right? And content updates, you know, but in your email newsletter, you can always continue to update them with new content that you've added to the course or anything else, you know, that you want to be able to share with your audience. Successfully launching your online course requires carefully planning and execution, right? Don't let promotional activities end with just a launch. Okay, I have a pre-launch and that's it. No, you have to continuously do this, especially if you're putting out something that is that's everybody's going to love, that your audience is going to love, I should say, right? You want to regularly update your course, share success stories of those who left some really good feedback. You want to share that. You know, you want to keep interest alive and attract new students ongoingly, right? I can tell you that there are some people who have created courses that have made maybe, you know, $500. There are people who have created courses that have made over millions of dollars, 10 millions of dollars. You know, if you follow any one of these online pioneers, you know what I'm saying is true, because it's a fact and it can happen for you too, right? So here's some of the keys to success that you want to keep in mind, right? You want to have ongoing optimization. Like I said, continuous improvements. You want to always be adding to from the feedback that you get from your audience, right? You want to have effective marketing. So all of the strategies that we've just mentioned, plus more that you're going to continue to learn as you grow in this space of online course creation, you want to continue to put out there. I want to continue to maybe add to your marketing strategies so that you can continue to put your content out there, right? The platform building, use friendly systems, right? There's some platforms that are a little wonky, you know what I mean, and a little cumbersome. So try to avoid those. Like, keep it really simple. The KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid. So just keep it really simple. It's gonna just make things. It's gonna streamline the process and not give you a bunch of headaches for sure, right? So then you have the content creation, right? Engage in material, right? You want to create a course that's engaging, right? Be friendly. Look at myself. I'm stuttering, I'm messing up, but you guys know it's real, right? I'm not overly editing. This is just something that I'm teaching you guys, just like how I'm talking to a friend, how I would talk to my family members, right? This is me. So you want to have that authenticity. Authenticity matters, especially when you're engaging with others, right? And your niche selection, right? You want to market aligned expertise. That goes back to the top. You want to make sure that you are aligned with what you are marketing, right? Be an expert in that space. Don't try to say you're an accountant, and the furthest you've gone is maybe, a spreadsheet of you putting your end of the month numbers together, right? You're not an accountant at that point. I'm just saying. So you want to be, you want to align your expertise, right? So like I've mentioned, a lot of this we've explored and covered, just really the surface of starting your online course creation. I mean, it really is, once you get going, it really is streamlined. It's really not that hard. And I'm telling you, you can make millions and millions of dollars from doing this. So really get your mind set on, this is something that I want to accomplish, because you can do it. I'm telling you, you can. So take action today, right? So some of the things you want to take action on: define your niche. You can do that right now. Once you finish watching this video, open ChatGPT, put in some of the things that you have done, you had experience with, your timeline. Maybe you've done this for 3 years, you've done this for a year, or whatever the case may be. Let ChatGPT right now, spit out some data, right? It's going to get your mind going into a space of, okay, what are some of the courses that I could potentially make? And then also ask it that. What are some of the courses that I could potentially make out of this? Ask it, which one of these are a profitable course? Ask it, how should I market it? Like we have AI now, so we really don't have an excuse as to be sitting on our asses wasting time, right? Create a 30-day plan. right? Again, ChatGPT. If you don't want to sit there and do it yourself, have AI help you. You can go to Claude AI. Hey, I need a 30-day plan on, how to execute this. What are some of the steps that I need to take, right? Share your journey. This is how you're going to grow your audience. Share your journey on social media. I'm creating this course. I just started creating this course idea. It's going to start to build excitement. It's going to start to build interest, and then from there, that's where you do your pre-launch, right? And then you'll say, oh, my course is ready. It's going to be launched, and here's the website. Guys, sign up to my email newsletter. You can continue to grow your list that way. Do you see how it's all coming together? Right, that's exactly what we do. And that's exactly how you're able to kind of, pump all this out and really have it, just magnified, right? So begin today. Like, don't waste any time. If you're wasting time, you really don't want to do this. You really don't want to do this, right? So why waste time? Time is a commodity that we cannot get back. You're never going to be the age that you are right now ever again. So right now is the time to just make it happen. I know you can do it. I believe in you. If nobody ever said they believe in you, I do. And I'm proud of you. You've made it this far, right? So awesome. So here's a really dope resource that I use currently to help you validate, and create courses online. If you're interested in creating online courses or, online ebooks, let me get down here. This is a really, really good platform for you to use. It's called Eureka. The link's going to be in the description. Check it out for yourself. See if it's something that is suitable for you and what you want to create. But I use it to be able to get some ideas about, online courses. What are some of the things that people are interested in, right? What are some of the courses that have already been made, right? I don't want to recreate the wheel, but I also just don't want to make another just copy of it, right? So here's some of the back office. This is how it looks. You type in just any one of your topics. Right now I'm typing in digital marketing, if I could spell. So just to see, what are some of the courses that already have been created, right? This is some of the things that it shows you: broad, semantics, phrase match. Look at some of the courses that have already been created, right? Over to your right, you'll see the platforms that it's on. Most of these courses are on Udemy, right? Here's the dates that they were created on, the duration of the time, the estimation. Somebody's made over $2 million, right, on a digital marketing course, certification, right? They had over 100,000 students, right? These are all the coming students are accessing and who are interested in some of these courses, right? So it really gives you a really good idea, of some of the things that you should be looking at towards, and some of the courses that you could potentially create. Look, the quality score is showing you how many, if it's a good, if it's in demand, if it's something that you should be thinking about creating, right? Along the side on your left, you can also navigate to a lot of the other tools that it has. But I think Eureka is amazing. It really helps me a lot with just, course creation, creating an ebook if I wanted to create that, right? You have platform research. You can research each platform. Here are all the platforms, like I was mentioning, that courses are on and people are learning on. You can do a lot of different things. Here's the book research. So if you're interested in creating a book, right? Maybe a romantic book, maybe you're in the love space and you want to make some books, you can also do that, right? So you have title keyword planner where you can get some of the titles on, right? Here's some of the saved ones I was looking at, maybe researching. Some of the courses that I may want to create in the future, right? And here's Lesson Architect. So Lesson Architect pretty much helps you with, drawing up your course or outline and brainstorming a little bit, right? So I think it's a really amazing platform. If you guys are interested in getting it, I think you really should. It's helped me in a number of different ways, and I know it's going to help you too. Hey, I hope you guys really love this walkthrough of creating your online course, and I know you can create yours. So don't waste any time. Time's of the essence. I'm proud of you. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.